One minute. Hang on a second. 1 minute. It's dinner time, everybody. You interrupted my dinner. But anyways, we're here. And thanks for joining. But let me finish what I'm eating here and welcome in everybody's favorite uncle. Ed, save the show.
Inter Miami! Woo! Yeah, we won. Peter Brown, we won! Dude, that was exciting, man. And we're going to get to that in just a bit, guys. But wow, what a game. We were debating with Peter if it was like the best game ever for Inter Miami or just the best game of the year. But the thing is, that was one hell of a win. And man, we got so much to say about it, and you know, I just wish I had a beer, but I ran out, Peter. So
I have one in the fridge. I mean, a lot of people would say it's a very weak beer and make fun of me for it, but I do have one. But I chose instead to go with the old coffee because today, I don't know about you, Ed, but up here in Broward, it's been a rainy
so
day.
Far up.
Yes.
Oh, it has been.
It's been a very rainy day. And I don't know. Rainy day means I can't do any of my normal outdoor activities, which just means I'm tired, Ed. I'm just tired. It just tires me out. So I needed some coffee to give me the energy as I burp on it.
To wake you up, you know,
Wake
as
me
he burps. But man, Peter, it was so cool. You know, let's why don't we get the business and all that, and then we could start, you know, developing this whole wonderful review that we're gonna do.
Always, we want to start off the show by saying a big thank you to Caneswear. This is where you need to go to get all your Inter Miami gear. It's where Ed and I shop. It's where you're going to get the best prices in town. They're located in Davie off of University, just south of 595. And if that's a little too far for you to drive, if you're too far north or too far south, just go to caneswear.com. And, you know, when you're at Caneswear, mention Futbol Miami TV, and you'll save a little bit of money. But you know, Ed, it's funny is what was it? Last week, I did a Philadelphia podcast.
Yeah, I saw that. Pretty good.
Yeah. And what's funny though is when our listeners, our viewers, our group here are so awesome and they're so used to hearing about Caneswear, they start promoting Caneswear while I'm on a show in Philadelphia. How awesome is that? We've got them brainwashed.
Well, hopefully some people in Philly, you know, got on that website and did some ordering.
I told them, I said, you know, if you guys, you know, you too can order. Just go on the website. But
that's what I do. Sometimes I can't get up all the way. I can't go all the way up to Caneswear, and I want something quick. And that's the thing to do. Get on caneswear.com and go get your stuff, guys. As a matter of fact, do it right now.
After the show.
Well,
do it
after
later.
the show.
Unless you got two screens and you want to do it that way.
Yeah.
B King says he'll be dropping in on Caneswear tomorrow before he goes to the open practice, so we could talk about.
I actually saw Brian yesterday. We said hello. He was at the club, so we're gonna talk about that right now, Peter. But first, let me say hello to. There's tons of people on the chat right now.
All right,
they got an early. You know what? There's that excitement because we won. So I think everybody wants to talk. You know, sometimes people don't want to say anything. Though, you know, if they get on here, they're gloomy or whatever. But not today. And this is probably one of the best games, like I mentioned earlier, that we've ever seen. Inter Miami and Pozuelo, what a difference he makes. Anyways, but let's say hello to everybody. First person I saw was Kevin Gonzalez.
Nice.
Not sure if you see him.
No, that was before we went live.
The good old Jonathan Carranza, cousin of the Carranza plays in Philly. Yes. He's not really related to him, but we like to say so. We got Baldwin 4. I don't know if it's Baldwin 4 or IV. We got B King, of course. I saw him last night at the club. He was there chilling. He was dancing. He was doing, you know, no, he wasn't dancing. He was just chilling, you know. Probably getting some of that food or something. Esteban Dito, I heard you hung out with him.
I did. I was hanging out with him, and a lot of fun. Good guy to hang out with. And, you know, I felt some negative vibes there at the stadium as well, you know. Just like quite often he kind of is negative here.
Brings you down. Our good friend Ricardo, who, guys,
Nice.
is going to move to Charlotte, and he's going to probably be a Benedict Arnold, but it's all good. I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do for his family, so we're going to miss him down here, but hopefully he'll remain a Inter Miami fan, and if he decides to go the dark how do you say it in Star Wars terms, the dark side?
Yeah, the dark side.
There's nothing we can do about it, but we hope him the best. I was trying to get him to go to the game, but he had to go to Charlotte and do some stuff. It's MRG is also with us. It's MRG. Kata is another guy that's always following us. Thanks, man. And he was actually in the Philly chat. I saw him for a little bit.
Oh yeah, they said Kata's in the watching their show like all the time, to where they were like, wait a minute, who does he support? And
right,
and
then they realized.
Well, what I mentioned to him is, the beauty of these kind of shows is that you get viewers from all across the league, like a new Weissman and others.
Yeah, well, we got also Jose Velasquez is on here. Yes, it was one hell of a comeback, man. That thing was just awesome. Our good bud, Peter's nemesis himself, Eric Thomas. Yeah, he's with us right now. We got Fernando Peña. Yeah, what incredible game last night, guys. And of course, you mentioned him already. Our good friend over there in Atlanta, a new Wiseman, is also with us, guys. Join us in the chat. Send us your messages. Tell us what we should talk about if you forget something. Man, Peter, what a game.
Well, hang on. We still have a few more you haven't mentioned. We've got Marva Mieles.
Oh, look at that. They're not appearing on mine.
We've got Wesley Riley.
Holy moly, we
come
got.
by and say congratulations. And he's one of the Charlotte guys from CLTFC TV.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, he's one of the guys. Cool.
Right. Good guys over there. And we also have Jay Kington, who's watching us on Facebook. That's
Jay.
where you can see it from Inter Miami CF podcast.
Good old Jay.
We got another Tio Luis.
Oh man, there's so many Tios.
And Endo is in. Haven't seen Endo in here in a long time.
Endo, what's up, bud?
You back.
I just refreshed and I see a whole bunch of people now.
Andre Geistert. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And
Pozuelo was awesome, man.
One world, one goal.
Oh, wait. We got another one. You see him?
Esteban Mejia.
There you go.
Jet Pancake.
Wait. Yeah, dude, people are starting to see. We win and people start showing up.
All of a sudden, everybody wants to go and talk about it because it's fun. It's a fun night to talk.
It was one hell of a game. And Peter, it was. Let me start off by saying thanks to everybody that came up to me. I was actually doing the VIP thing like Peter did last time. And shout out to Patrick for hooking it up. Patrick Barnhill had us. He was a great host. I went there with my daughter, grandkid, and my friend Alfredo, who's actually an American football fan. And he's more of a Raiders fan. I always wanted to take him to the soccer game, and he loved the game, man. At first it was, we were losing, and he's like, dude, we were dominating. He was talking like that. We were dominating.
We were.
And I can't believe we're down 2-0, and it was heartbreaking. I was like, I can't believe I brought you to a game, and you're gonna see us lose. Well, it sure turned around quick, didn't it?
Yes, it did. We'll get into all that, but I see this. It's MRG has posted this like 4 times, so just figured let's answer it. It says, "Are you guys going to the Inter Miami Barca training?" I'm not sure. So, real quick, an email went out. Of course, I didn't get it, but thankfully, I've got some of you guys that send me information. So, I was made aware that if you renewed by Thursday or something, you got invited to the Barca training for free. Otherwise, I think you have to pay for it, right? I don't know. But so I did. I renewed my season tickets on that time, but I don't know how to find out now if I've got the invite because I don't know. So not sure if I'm going tomorrow. Probably not because
call you a rep. Well, I can't go
could.
because I got to work. So.
I could, but at the end of the day, it's like it's just practice. So I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been a good video though.
Yeah, maybe. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not. Maybe right. not. So,
well, man, there's people that are just jumping in here now, and that's what we need. We need to keep winning. Roberto, how you doing, my friend? He went to Brazil recently. He's also Ecuadorian. He likes Ricky Ricardo's team though. Terrible team. But what keeps us together is Inter Miami.
Right. So we got a couple voicemails. We'll play them in just a few minutes. But if you want to call in and be a part of the show, 786-474-4435.
I want to do another special mention, Peter. I ran into this a fan of ours. He was thanking us for doing the show. His name is Gabriel, and but Gabriel said I looked skinnier in person than I do in the video. So I was like, dude, you're basically calling me fat, dude. I mean, come on. So I told him I was going to say that. Gabriel, thanks for watching us. But, dude, see, I'm not that fat.
That was funny. You chatted me that, and I read that to my wife, and she's like, he called him fat. That's like me. How do you do that to somebody? How do you walk up to somebody and say, oh, you're not as fat as I thought?
Right. And he's like, you're rather slim. He was like, I was wearing my pink jersey, with the Uncle Ed in the back. So a lot of people were coming up to me and saying hi and thanking us for the show. So, but yeah, he was the one that stuck out because he said I was fat.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we love meeting everybody. So that's always fun. So
come up to us, guys.
A couple things. I figured let's kind of go down this, yesterday's in somewhat of an order, meaning it started off with another rain delay. And as I'm hanging out with Julio Caballero, Esteban Dido, and some other friends, Chris Walsh, Steve Seri, so a few people, we're all sitting around talking, and this topic came up, which Esteban Mejia is mentioning. Miami Stadium will need to have a roof, right? And that was a popular discussion we started having because this is like our third or fourth rain delay this year. It seems like we've had quite a few because it never just rains. It's always lightning.
Right. So, it's funny because we had the same conversations over there at the VIP area. As a matter of fact, I ran into Fernando Fiore, and he told me that he's like, come on, man, it's raining every time. I mean, he's like, I need to have a talk with somebody so they can, put a roof on that stadium. Yeah.
So my argument is, while it sounds great to have a retractable roof, because it would have to be retractable. You're not building a dome in Miami, right? You want to enjoy the good weather when we have it. But to build a retractable roof on a soccer stadium, I just don't think the league is that big and for owners to fork out that kind of money. You could turn around and say, well, they've got it, right? So the Moss brothers probably have enough cash to do it. But just like everything, there's a budget. And it just doesn't seem like the amount of money that MLS teams bring in, it doesn't seem like a good budget investment. Maybe it's like your return on investment may not be there, not yet. I mean, the league is growing and things like that, but as of now, it's not there. But what do you think, Ed? Do you think the Moss brothers, looking at this, would consider forking out that extra cash to put a retractable roof? You think they would do it?
I think that would really help, getting people to the stadium, because at least they'll be like, oh, well, it's raining, but, there's a roof, so we're good. Maybe not totally seal up, the top of the stadium. Maybe, just covering up all the.
But that wouldn't stop a lightning delay.
Oh, that I think. Well,
we're still in the same situation, right? So the fans are dry. But most of the time when it rains down here, there is thunder and lightning.
Right.
It's rare that it's just rain. And so
in that case, you got a point.
If it's open at all, we're in the same situation.
Well, let's reach out to Jorge Mas, see if we can get him on the show. I'd love to make that happen, and we can ask him some of these hard questions.
Yeah, I don't think some people are saying, like Marvin Mieles thinks there will be a retractable roof. It's not in the design plans. Let's just put it that way. Anu is saying, I believe Miami Freedom Park will have a canopy like at BC Palace in Vancouver. There'll be a canopy type situation over the fans, but the design so far has the field area wide open. So, because at the same time, you want to, a lot of times we've got great weather and you want to enjoy that great weather.
Yeah.
But Eric Thomas saying we need more deep-pocketed investors, guys, for that to happen. Yeah.
We had some.
Yeah, right.
We don't know the whole story, but we can imagine what happened. But
eventually the game had started. And the funniest thing, man, like 34 seconds in, I think it was, and they score. And I don't know if you were like, if how many people in this chat were like me, but because we've been through this, well, not this. I think that's got to be a record, at least for this team. What is the quickest goal scored in MLS? I'm curious. What is the record?
Somebody mentioned it yesterday. I think it was like 6 or 7 seconds.
Okay, so it's not quite
That's
there.
the record. So
But having gone through so many lows with this team, so many times when they get scored on first, whether it's 30 seconds or whether it's 30 minutes, my head's down and I'm like, oh, Jesus. It's here we are again. It's got that defeatist attitude right away.
Oh, dude, it was terrible. And I mean, and I was like saying hello to somebody that was sitting next to us, and all of a sudden, I heard everybody yell, and I was like, oh wow, we scored. So I turned around and I was getting ready to yell, great, I missed the goal or whatever. And then I realized, oh no, it's all the Charlotte fans, and there were a lot of Charlotte fans, man. That was nuts.
Charlotte showed up, and actually, I went over to the Southern Legion supporters before the pregame. And,
I wanted to go too. Yeah.
Yeah, I did get over there because I went to the game with my brother, and he got to my house a little bit earlier than expected. So I was like, yeah, let's head over there.
Nice.
So I was over there hanging out with Franco Panizzo and Bruno. Saw Bruno over there and was hanging out with him as well. Some other Southern Legion guys, and there was a lot of Charlotte. I keep wanting to call him Charleston. Keep wanting to call him because of Charleston too, Battery and things. I constantly want to call him Charleston. But tons of Charlotte fans. The supporters clubs coming together, greeting everybody. Just similar to from what I hear, the way they treated the Inter Miami supporters up in Charlotte. We returned the favor down here. And so it was a lot of good vibes. They did bring a lot of people, for sure.
They did. That section, their section was pretty full, and they were loud. I was able to listen to them a few times, but man, I would have hated to have been, sitting with them and feeling what they probably felt when Inter Miami, was able to turn the score around. That must have sucked for them.
Yeah. So that was okay. So how about that goal from Taylor, Robert Taylor? How about that goal, Ed?
He was, I saw a lot of his play in the first half, and he was just getting in there. He was cutting through. He's very good with the ball at his feet, and it was only a matter of time before he was going to do it. He was just tearing up that defense all day, and from what I heard in the press conference, Neville was saying that he told him to step up and do that some more, which usually coaches don't like that. They don't like players that just dribble in or whatever. They prefer them to pass. So I was surprised that he had said that to Taylor, and Taylor, he did it. There was a couple times where I think there was only 2 times where they took the ball away from him, but usually, he must have tried it 10 times. So 8 out of the 10 he did good, and he got a goal out of it. So
like Kata says here, has to be goal of the week. The flick, the control, the juke, and boom, golazo. Exactly. Golazo. The way he pulled it down, flicked it over. I mean, just individual effort was outstanding.
Kata's competing with Ray Hudson there with all the colorful commentary.
There, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But eventually, when somebody else was commenting in here, I saw that it was the crowd looked pretty good. I thought still was kind of a weak crowd, but they sounded amazing. to me, this was one of the most exciting Inter Miami games I think ever. I'm just trying to think about the electricity in the stadium. If you were not in that stadium, you need to be there at the next game, because it was just, I had never seen so much electricity in the stadium for a tie. Because when we tied it up at 2-2, it was like the crowd was reacting as if we were winning, but they were so into it. And it was a nail biter. I've got my brother next to me who's just new to soccer, right? He's still learning it, and he's just so intent and just like focused on it, and it was just pulling you in. And it was just, I'll tell you, it was an amazing atmosphere for what was maybe a light crowd.
Well, it also had to do, I think, with the rain. Some people probably got turned off with the idea of going to the stadium, and. A good old Kata right there. Yeah, I guess. Well, I was exaggerating already, Kata. Don't let it go to your head, buddy. But yeah, man, it was. I think that had a little bit to do with it. But hopefully, these guys having Pozuelo in there and making a difference, I think, helped.
Yeah, talk about that for a second. Pozuelo, what a difference! I mean, this game, even though we were down 2-0 at some point, we were in control of this game. This was some of the most entertaining soccer we've played in a long time. And Pozuelo was so important to all that. I mean, he was able to like kind of slow the game down when he needed to. His passes were really good. I mean, it got me excited for what's to come. Yeah, I mean, but one question: why was he wearing long sleeves? In the first half.
Maybe
what the hell was that?
Maybe he's one of those players that's used to wearing long sleeves. He doesn't like the
But you notice he took them off. He wore short sleeves in the second half.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
He took off that undershirt or whatever it was, and went short sleeve the second half. He learned. He was like, I bet you he was thinking, well, it's raining. It's I'm gonna put on the long sleeves. It might be a little cool. It's like, hell no, man. This ain't Toronto.
But no, he was on fire, dude, and it was great to see him do that because everybody was I think they felt that energy that he was giving out to the team, and the rest of the players were on top of it. Unfortunate, that first goal, and then what's the guy's name? Reina, I think. I think he's Colombian. The guy that scored both goals for Charlotte.
Reina, yeah, he was really good.
He was really good. I was like, oh man, that guy. He just kept on. Going down that left side real quick, and he got both of the goals. But fortunately, man, we like you said, we were dominating the game. I always felt that we should have won that game.
Right.
We rightfully won it because we dominated. And then the I felt bad for Campana. He wasn't able to score a goal. He had a clear shot right in front of the goal that he sent straight into the keeper, and so it was a little disappointing. He was able to get on the scoreboard, but he would hustle back and defend. He'd go forward, something we don't see from Higuain. Higuain basically just stays up, and that's his whole game. So seeing how Higuain makes a difference in the second half, how he's still a great goal scorer. You give him an opportunity, he's going to score that goal. And especially having Pozuelo there, feeding the ball to the rest of the players, and I think it was Mota that gave him that lob pass where he scored his second goal, because I believe the first goal was good, but I don't know. What was your perspective? You were closer, I think, from your angle, Peter. Was he offside?
I'm sorry. I was enjoying Esteban's comment that you should have brought some sushi out to us.
Oh, right. I ate a lot of sushi. I'll tell you that.
But before we talk about any goals, you were mentioning Campana. What's up with Campana? He seems to be in a little bit of a drought here. I mean, he's working hard. He puts in the work, but he's not getting the results that he was getting earlier in the season.
He's not. I think it has a lot to do with him. He's going down a lot. He's not staying up like Higuain does. I like that he goes down, but a lot of times I've seen him backtracking, so he's not up where he's supposed to be at. He is running. To get to that position.
Dropping back a lot, which Higuain liked to drop back too. But with Pozuelo in there, I don't feel like he needs to drop back as much.
He doesn't need to go back. Yeah,
he needs to stay up top. But the whole link up with Pozuelo, might take a few more games for them to really get the hang of each other. But I feel like Campana's in a bit of a drought. It's not a lack of work ethic, because he's definitely working hard. And on that Wednesday night game, he was frustrated. At one point, he just kind of shoved off on one of the Philly players and is showing some frustration. And it happened kind of right in front of where we sit. And he was pretty frustrated. So hopefully he can get, because goal scorers, they get droughts and things like that, and it can go to their heads. And I just because here's
not score anymore.
My concern is if he starts not scoring, Neville's going to put Higuain in as a starter, and I don't want that. I think Higuain,
neither do I.
We named this episode Super Subs because I think that is Higuain's new position. He comes in the 65th, 70th, 80th minute, whatever it is, when the other team is tired, and he can shine. And now he got someone like Pozuelo that can open him up. But what was great about his goal last night, the one that did count, was it didn't come from Pozuelo. It came from Gregory. So it wasn't.
Oh, it was Gregory. You're right.
Gregory. Now, if I remember correctly, Pozuelo did pass the ball on the goal that was offside. And I did go back and watch that one. It did look offside to me. Live, it didn't. Live, it didn't look offside. But the replay looked offside to me. But Higuain, I think he just needs to hopefully embrace the role and just know, okay, look, I'm at this point in my career, I'm best coming off the bench. Now, his ego may not allow him to admit that. That's what I'm concerned about. But that's what he needs to come to the realization, that is his best best position is coming off the bench.
And in the press conference, I don't know if you saw the press conference. They asked him what he. No, they also they did it in English. He said he's the next one he's going to do in English.
Nice. I skipped the ones I skipped the press conference interviews with the Spanish speaking guys because yes, I know they translate some of it, but I do watch any of the ones that speak English.
Right. He basically, they asked him if he thought that this was enough for him to play for another year, and he said he's gonna wait and see how things go this year to see if that's a possibility. But unless he scores 20 goals, that's something I told my friend Alfredo. Unless this guy scores like 20 goals, I don't think he's coming back. I don't think they're gonna give him the option. I think he has an option, right? Another year option if they decide to pick it up. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
Yeah. Duvster in the chat is saying Higuain's press conference, he spoke a lot and said he was frustrated with not being a starter and the lineups. Well, my opinion...
He wasn't used to it, he said.
Yeah, my opinion is get over it. Embrace... Look, I mean, he just... Be a team player. And I don't get it, Ed.
That shark keeps going by, man.
It's Shark Week right now.
It is, man. See, that's why I'm doing it.
But Higuain needs to...
Well, why the Shark's doing it?
To be a team player and looking at the team, knowing where do I best serve the team, not myself individually. Because, look, he's had enough accolades in his career. Let's just do it for the team. And his best position right now is coming off the bench. And then he could be the hero. He could be the hero, score a couple goals, 1 or 2 goals, whatever, when the game softens up a little bit.
Yeah, but
Eric Thomas said time to move on. I'm assuming he's meaning time to move on from Higuain. But
I do want to mention Duke looked great when he came in the second half, and
that's my boy.
My friend Alfredo was saying, "Dude, how come they didn't have him play?" I was like, "Well, basically he plays Pozuelo's position, so I love that they brought him in."
You notice they pushed Pozuelo off to the wing when Duke came in, which I was surprised with. I thought they would put Duke on the wing. I mean, he could do I'm sure he could play there too. It may not be his natural position, but I'm sure he can do it.
But he looked great, and he's that feisty guy who's and everybody he was creating dead ball chances, getting fouled and everything, and there were a couple of calls where they didn't call, they didn't call. They grabbed him from the shirt. I remember on one of them, and I was yelling. I was like, "What the hell, man!"
And
But
if memory serves correct, Duke got the assist on the Emerson Rodriguez goal. And that goal, Emerson, I mean, that wasn't even a strong shot. It just well placed. Keeper couldn't. He touched it, couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's great for Emerson, because now that's his first goal with Inter Miami. That dude's all speed, man, and
always gives away the ball.
Well, this will be good for his ego. He's going to be, next game he's going to be on fire, I think. But he's another player that I think still needs to come off the bench. I think Taylor's perfect where he's at. I don't know what adjustments Neville's going to do for the next game, but I think we're good. Winning team, keep it the way it is. Bring on these super subs.
Yeah, and here's a comment from Jet Pancake. I almost called him Jeff Pancake. Neville has a bit of a situation now. Higuain clearly looks fired up the last 2 games, and he was subbed in while Campana looks cold. Won't be surprised if Gonzalo gets the start soon. I agree. I don't want to see that, but I agree that is a good possibility to happen. Here's where you start him. Start him on Tuesday. Start him on Tuesday. Start him on Tuesday.
The Barcelona game. Yeah. Start him on Tuesday.
Start him on Tuesday. Let his ego get stroked, because of all games, he doesn't want. He probably wants to start that one because those are people he knows probably. Those are his contemporaries.
People he played against. So
exactly.
Too bad Lewandowski's not going to be there, because Barcelona just acquired him from Bayern. So that's too bad that people won't get to see him playing yet. But from what I'm hearing, he's going to play against Real Madrid in Vegas. There's a big game in Vegas coming up. The Clásico up there. So that'll be fun. I'm going to try to watch it. I was trying to get my wife. Her birthday's coming up, and I was trying to get her to go to Vegas with me. That would have been great. And I was going to try to take advantage and have her and go to that game, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, that
would
be
our plans.
Cool. That would be cool. But as you can see in this photo here, or no, maybe you can't see it. Can you? Barcelona's in the house. They're there. They are. They were in. They drove up to the stadium today.
There were there were a lot of people out there waiting for them, and in that humidity. So good for Barcelona fans, I guess.
Kata is saying that Lewandowski just arrived tonight in Miami. Will be presented tomorrow.
Oh,
Jose Velasquez is saying the same thing. He's here in Miami, so
I'm sure he said, "Oh, I want to go to Miami, get on one of them yachts and chill and by the beach or something."
Kata is telling you, Ed, that the cheapest tickets that he hears in the Vegas Clásico is $500.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason why we didn't go.
All right, why don't we while we're still talking about the game, before we move too far onto other things, let's take some voicemails. So as always, if you guys want to leave us one, please do so. You'll see the number in just a minute. It's time for your voicemails.
Hello.
All right, this one came in at 3:55.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and all the great fans out there. It's Italia, one world, one goal. Famous of the aficionados. I'm finally back in Miami. Oh my gosh, travel trauma trips. But, oh my gosh, woohoo! We won. What a comeback win. I almost called at the half and said, oh my God, why can't this team connect a pass to the other player? I don't know what Phil said at the halftime, although he says, Coach Neville says, he just told them to shoot the ball, but he may have put another word or two in there. But I do want to give a shout out, a word that I wouldn't repeat, but I get it. It's a locker room. You got to fire them up. So I would like to give a shout out to Chris Henderson for making great negotiations and getting new players. Now everybody steps up their game when they sign these last 2 players, and you bring a guy in, he's already in the league, he already knows the league, he had been an MVP before, and everybody else is like, oh well, I can make a pass too. Did you see that amazing pass only by un brasilero do you get a pass like that? Not even my Italians passed that pretty, although Del Piero maybe did. And then, of course, we have to give a shout-out to Peter. I know you have to know who Alejandro Del Piero, the most famous one of the most famous Italians. Anyway, if I'm not talking about Diego Serna 17, I guess you don't care. Anyway, The big shout out to Senor Mas for putting more money and money and putting more money and money and money and money and then some more money towards getting us the proper level of players. And, you know, I'm sure he feels wonderful that we're finally getting these players to click. And this is the game that we wanted to see. We waited like 14 years to see this kind of game. So love it. Love you guys. Love the show. Ciao for now.
All right. Thank you. I lost my train of thought.
Good old One World. She's always all over the place. So takes you off your train of thought.
I had a thought when she was talking, but then, she goes in so many different directions that I lost it.
Was it something about Diego Serna?
I like Diego. He was great in his time, but no offense, one world, one goal, but his time's over. We're gonna talk about the current players.
The new guys.
That assist by Gregory was pretty impressive. She was talking about the Brazilians. That was pretty good. Of course, the other Brazilian, Mata gave an assist as well to the other team. And that's why they scored in that first
and that early goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was one. That was an unfortunate event, man, and especially so early that everybody was caught off guard. I was caught off guard too. But man, that was just what do you guys think? Was this the best game in Inter Miami history or best game of the year? Let us know in the chat. Let us know what you guys think. Who was the top player? They gave the man of the match to Higuain, but they should have given it to Pozuelo, man.
He's the one that changed the complexion of the team. So, but they always give it to the guy that scores the goals. So, if you're gonna give it to one guy who scored, then maybe it should have gone to Emerson because he scored the game winner.
The game winner, and that really would have been good for his ego.
But the fans vote for this. So at the end of the day, as fans in the stadium, we see it as Higuain scored 2 goals. One got called back, but live, to me, it looked like a good goal.
The real McCoy. Yeah. It looked good to me.
I was thinking, in my opinion, I would have agreed it to some extent.
And that's where that picture that's on the thumbnail came out. We were yelling goal, and then they brought it back. It came out on TV, so I was like, my 5 seconds of glory right there.
Yes.
Gregory. Esteban Mejia is saying Gregory man of the match.
Yep. Hang on, I'm doing something here. We want to talk about that.
There we go. There's good old Patrick.
There you
Patrick's
go.
our benefactor in the VIP area.
Yep. This is.
And my granddaughter was right next to me, but she got caught off in that area right there. But she came out on the Jumbotron or whatever it's called, the big old screen, a couple times because she was dancing and flirting with the camera guy.
Oh, okay. As Ed going big time, getting on TV.
Yeah.
Jay Kington.
I think
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I think they were looking at my granddaughter and I just somehow came up, So.
Jay Kington watching here on Facebook, where you can also watch us. Definitely the best game of the year, but I think the best game in Inter's history is that game against Cincinnati to make it to the play-in round of our first year. Gale Force wins, Rain moving sideways, Mikey Ambrose ripping the winner outside the box. Good memory, yeah.
Wow. Incredible memory.
Yeah, that was.
I forget my own name sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I was at that. I remember I was definitely at that game with the tropical storm game. I'm not sure if you made it to that one. I don't remember. There
was like a whirlwind. Was that one?
Yeah. We were playing in a tropical storm. That was definitely memorable. But I don't know. There was something, to me at least, in this game. The crowd was just way more amped up. It was. It sounded like a sold out crowd. Granted, we know it wasn't. Miami Derp says, the tropical storm game was fun. And I remember I did like a vlog type thing there of that game. I did some sort of vlog that you could find on the channel of my perspective of that game. Luckily, I'm not sitting in the supporter section, so I was undercover. So.
Yeah, man, and the supporter section sounded great, man. I mean, every song it felt like they were behind me from where I was sitting. So I was like, I kept on looking back, and I was like, I guess the I don't know, that area attracts the noise better. Or
so let's talk about that. We have 2 more voicemails I do want to get to. This is something that was brought to my attention by Patrick, who you were sitting next to, and I started paying attention to it. And then, while I was at the Southern Legion tailgate, a Southern Legion member, Nader, came up to me and asked the same question, and that is Inter Miami piping in the supporters section throughout the stadium? Because when you sit in our section, Ed, in 115, we're pretty much in the middle, but we're on the right side of the middle. Like we're one section closer to Southern
than where I was
supporters,
sitting,
right? So we're one section closer to the supporters. So I feel like I'm getting the real supporters sound there, right?
Right.
But when I'm sitting on the opposite end in that west end, which is like 1 or 2 sections the opposite direction, so you're 1 or 2 sections away from the supporters club, but yet it sounds like those supporters are right standing behind me.
Right.
There is a question amongst the fans. Is Inter Miami piping in the supporters club? You know, they got some microphones over there and playing it throughout the rest of the stadium. I know that Southern Legion members feel this way and do not like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the case because now you mention it, you would, if there's a microphone around there, you would catch somebody talking.
Yeah, but I'm not saying they're like, I mean, they just put them out in front on the field, right, facing to the crowd. The question is, they have microphones facing there because they wanted to come across on TV. But are they taking that audio and playing it inside the stadium? Is the
that question. Is a good question, Peter Brown. And like I said, I look back because I was like, it kind of sounded like it was coming from behind me.
Hang on a second. Kata says, Raheem reluctantly admitted it. Bum, bum, bum. We're getting to something, Ed. We're breaking it open right here. The
live.
And Kata's saying again, they pump the noise a bit. Yes, and Eric Thomas is saying we talked about that 2 months ago when we were in first class. Exactly. So that's why I was saying, where Ed is sitting was the same place that Eric and I were sitting, and we were talking about that then. And then again, like I said, Southern Legion members brought it to my attention, and they actually asked me to pay attention because they're like, oh, we don't sit where you sit, so pay attention. And does it sound like it's being piped in? And I honestly, from our section, it doesn't sound like it.
Right.
But because
where I was sitting
on the other side, it totally does. Now, if they're doing it on one side, they're doing it everywhere. But my comment to Nader, the Southern Legion member, was if they're doing it, to me, they're basically saying, supporters clubs, you're not loud enough. We have to help you. So get louder. If you don't want them to do it, get louder. Or are they doing it because the rest of the stadium is not full enough, right? Maybe it's not the supporters club's fault. Like, maybe it's just the fact that the rest of the stadium's kind of dead because there's not enough people.
Right.
I don't know. But
okay. Interesting. But what are you guys saying? Well, this is a topic that you brought up and people are interested about, Peter.
Yeah. It's just something I know that I don't know if it's something that shouldn't be done, frowned upon. Is it something that's frowned upon? I guess because you don't want to artificially amplify the environment.
But I'll tell you, it gave the environment. Well, at least I thought, I didn't even think about it the way that you're talking about it, but now that I, remember looking back, thinking maybe there's a, kind of sounding like supporters are behind me.
Behind me,
Yeah. So, but it gave it a better ambiance, man. So,
it does.
if anything, it made you get more into the game. I'm always into the game.
It works.
If I'm in the supporters section, if I'm in the section where we usually sit, or in the VIP, I'm talking half the time and having a good time. Oh, Patrick's on here. Patrick, good to see you, man.
Yeah, Patrick's in there and says, I think they even turned it up after we were getting beat. A new Weissman says Atlanta needs to pump in noise from the supporter section throughout the stadium. The acoustics are awful there. Yeah, That's a really big stadium too. And even if you have a really nice crowd of, say, 40,000 people or something like that, it may still sound because it's just a giant stadium. Oh, Jay Kington is saying he can also confirm it.
Oh,
so this is something that other people have known about, but I don't think anybody's really discussed it. And
nobody's really talked about it like we're talking about it now, I think.
So what's everybody's opinion? Is this something that's frowned upon? Is it something you shouldn't do? I mean, it works. It makes the environment feel better. It totally works. It does. But
I'm okay with it.
But
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I think it was good because it got me more into the game, and I think it worked.
But the purists, people that are the purists, our expats, our Brits, and all those kind of stuff. I mean, what would they say about it?
People from the supporters groups too. They might not like that either.
He wasn't happy because he was telling me he thought what he had heard was that there's a delay, because you know how that happens. The way the sound travels and all that kind of stuff, that there was a bit of a delay. Now, I didn't hear any delay. To me, the timing sounded good. It worked. Mm-hmm. And,
everything was good.
Kata is saying, if it was louder, then I'd say it's bad, but it's at a believable level. So will Inter Miami be a little upset the fact that we're talking about this? We do know they watch.
I think I'm okay with it because, like I said, it just made the ambience a lot better. I thought it was a supporters group because there wasn't a delay there, so I was good with it.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to a couple other voicemails. It's time for your voicemails.
Hello. Mi gente in the South Florida area and other places. Big shout out to y'all on that comeback. That was had to be a beautiful thing for you guys. It's often said in soccer, football, that a 2-0 advantage can be one of the most deceptive, and it can go pear-shaped. You guys got it done. After that tough grind that you had against Philadelphia Union, I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's a season-defining moment, but it really could be a pivot moment. Higuain, if he can still control his attitude, hopefully he's happy putting the ball in the back of the net twice in 2 games. But he still has got to have a better temperament with the younger players. But this is something you guys can build off of. So props to y'all. Last week when I called, I was very cynical about the Wayne Rooney thing. I'm still cynical about him being signed by DC United. I was popping off about his wife going Yoko Ono the last time. That was probably a little bit excessive, because unless you're Ted C. with Prada, who was happy to see the backside of the Venezuelan after they went Splitsville, it's usually better to try to keep your partner happy. I still don't understand how that's going to work out for them with him being here at DC United and her staying over there. But hey, it is what it is, and it will be what it will be. So props to y'all. Holler at you later, players.
All right, that's Yankee boy from Maryland calling in.
Wow.
He's a DC United fan up there. So, question about the Wayne Rooney thing was that he left as a player DC United because his family did not like DC, and now he's coming back so soon. Is he still with his family, or something changed. Is there maybe a
I
divorce?
think something may have changed.
Yeah, is it still a happy family, or is he like, hey, you guys stay in England, I'll come over here, and it'll be good that way?
Right. Well, yeah, it's kind of weird, yeah, because like you said, he left because I guess the family didn't like DC, and now he's back. Now he's the coach, so that's going to be interesting to see. He didn't do too good in England either.
No, he did not.
So we'll see how that develops soon. DC isn't that strong right now, so I don't know if he's going to be able to turn it around.
It's MRG says, why should I call? I don't know why you're asking that question, but you should call because you join the show. You become a participant. You're participating now, but it's just another level of participation. And having said that, here's our next call.
Cheers, guys. How are you doing? This is Dukester calling you all. Just wanted to make a couple of quick notes. Super impressed with Pozuelo and the way that he played. I think he's adding another level of spiciness to our team, which we very much needed. Also heard that the Ecuador coach was in the stands watching Campana play. Kind of curious of how he saw his performance because Campana is a little bit off. But I also wanted to kind of touch base on the buyout that Philly did on Carranza before our last game. They literally got Carranza for $500,000, which seems to me like an incredible deal. Still a little bit hurt and disappointed about how everything went back. In the old days, I know that Carranza never fit in our system, but now he's like a scoring machine up in Philly. Just wanted to hear your thoughts. Cheers, boys.
All right, thanks. And if I'm not wrong, I think Deuster is an Ecuadorian as well. So that's why he'd be paying attention to Campana. But when I thought
I saw the coach there, dude. He was on. I think he was in the VIP area. Now that you mention it, and I was like, I knew he looked familiar, but now that he mentions it, I think I saw him, and that was a wasted opportunity for me to say hello to him.
Yeah, there you go.
But I didn't even think about it. But maybe that's one of the reasons why he felt a little pressure. He probably knew that the coach was going to be there, and that can do it to you. It gets you off your game, and he desperately wants to go to the World Cup. So, if he's not scoring, he's not going. So hopefully he picks it up.
Exactly.
Carranza. Let's talk about Carranza.
So yeah. Again, I was on a Philadelphia a podcast. Check it out, guys. It's called Dupe by the River. I think it was.
Right.
What is Dupe
by the River?
I didn't ask them that, but to me it sounds.
They mention it a lot. That's our hashtag.
I know it's a Philadelphia hashtag thing, but to me it just sounds like you did a dump, dump by the river. Yeah. Dupe, dump by the river. But good guys nonetheless. Very, very.
Dupe rhymes with poop.
Yeah. Very, very, very cool guys, and very supportive of us over here, and so. Same support going back to them. But they were asking the question on when I was on their show. They kept talking about that they didn't say purchasing. They just kept saying pull the trigger. That Philadelphia can pull the trigger at any time. Why are they taking so long to pull the trigger? If they pull the trigger now, he could play in Miami. And I was quietly listening to that part, just thinking, I'm glad they're not pulling the trigger. But they had asked me how
pulled it.
Yeah, they did, and they had asked me how we felt as fans losing Carranza and seeing how he's doing there. And my thought was the same as it wasn't working here, so we looked at it like it was a waste. And so he, good for the kid that he found success in another system and another coach that's had success with young guys. And we were an organization that was a mess at the time. We're starting to get things together, but we were a mess at the time. So I have no problem with them getting Carranza. Now, it did hurt a little bit that they bought him at the day that we were playing him, but he didn't start, and he wasn't really much of an impact when he did come in, so that was good.
He didn't make a difference, so good for us.
They did get him cheap, but hey, that's the deal we struck at the time. things go like that. I mean, look, we got Pozuelo super cheap. What did we spend? Like 150,000 a game for Pozuelo. So we got him super cheap. It just happens in the league. So 500,000, yeah, it's cheap, but we needed to get him off our books. We cheated and we needed to get some money,
and we got caught. Yeah.
So I had no problem. And yeah, exactly what Eric Thomas says. Unfortunately, everybody becomes a scoring machine once they leave Inter Miami. Saying,
it is what it is.
No one really talked about Makoun return. No, didn't.
He came in the second half.
Yeah.
He didn't do much of anything.
Barely
is he even starting for them? I really don't follow Charlotte that much.
No,
so,
me neither. I mean, I know if I remember correctly, when we played him last in May, I think he started. I'm not sure, but so I mean, he might be in and out. But I know when I was talking to the Charlotte guys on their show, they're like, you guys could take Makoun back.
Right. So I guess he's not doing that much over there. I mean, Carranza's doing well. I can't think of any other player that's doing well that left, Inter Miami last year. So, I keep imagining what could have been if Chris Henderson was with us instead of getting Doug. I forgot his last name.
What?
The prior guy that we had before Chris Henderson.
Paul McDonough.
He's like
Paul
an
McDonough.
afterthought now.
Tubby.
McDonough, yeah, Paul McDonough. And why did I say I said Paul? I said Doug for some reason.
It's my buddy.
All right, see, I'm forgetting. It's hilarious.
So Jay Kington, again from Inter Miami CF podcast. Go check those guys out. Dupe is the nickname of the song. They play every time they score. In terms of Carranza, the deal looked cheap now, but it won't be once they have to re-sign him as a DP. Wish him the best, though. Yeah. So we got 500,000. Plus, we kept a percentage of the sell-on. So if they sell him, we get some money for that as well. So it's not a terrible deal. Within MLS, it's not a bad deal. Right? We got 500,000 for him, and he wasn't doing anything.
And they might get some money if he gets better. But one of the things that we talked about the last show, what's it say? What
CLT FC boys are crucifying.
They were
Makoun.
crucifying Makoun.
Yeah, they're not a fan of him for sure.
I guess he's not doing much over there also, so maybe that's why he's not starting. But they're bringing him in the second half, so I guess it's good enough.
So this week, Ed, we've got a Barcelona coming to town, or they are in town. I will be there. I'll be sitting up in 115. So if anybody's at the game and wants to say hi, around the 115, 113, area down below, I'm usually, or at the Heineken bar, I'll be there drinking a beer or something before the game. But
I won't. I'm going to be out of town. It's my wife's weekend birthday. We're going to do a road trip up to New York.
Oh, wow.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually...
Should be back on Sunday, though. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Sunday. I mean, if you're in New York, Ed, Saturday, Inter Miami is playing New York City.
Right. And that's going to be something interesting. But we're doing a road trip, so we have to probably be on our way back. I'll see. We'll see what we can maneuver.
We can, you should make it to this game right here, Ed. So the next two games.
It's been talked about, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying. I think
we'll see if it's maneuverable. What time is it at? 7 p.m.
7 p.m. So I think you should go to that. But Barcelona. So that is going to be a fun game to go to. More so. I mean, look, it's a friendly. They mean nothing, but now it's going to be a game where we see the stadium full. It's going to be full of Barcelona shirts. I actually was in the team store. The bigger team store on the west side. Because my brother was trying to look, do a little shopping, looking at stuff, and I asked the store if they were gonna pack it with a bunch of Barcelona jerseys and Barcelona merchandise. They said yes, they are. So they're gonna be selling a bunch of Barcelona merchandise at the game on Tuesday for anybody that wants to buy a new Barcelona shirt. You'll be able to do it there, and that. It's going to be probably a very pro Barcelona crowd. Even fans that wear pink on the weekends may put on their Barcelona shirt for that night.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way this town is. If it would have been Real Madrid, the same thing would have happened. So, um, you know, it, it's a little sad, but hopefully we can get all the Inter Miami people, especially in the supporters section. That needs to be just black and pink, man. Because if it's
I
not,
sure hope so. But these
Mhm.
tickets were expensive, so how many times are tough right now, and not a ton of people have expendable money. So are
Mhm.
those supporters ponying up extra dough? Now I know they got a deal. I know the supporters clubs get a nice deal from the team, but are they coming out? I hope so. I hope it's all pink and black there. I'll be going. I'm taking my wife. She wants to see Barcelona because she wants to see the spectacle of it all. So that will be fun.
Well, did you see a new Wiseman saying that he's hearing a rumor that Paul McDonough will be joining Newcastle
With Darren Eales, Darren Eales is or was the general manager over at right, I think, of Atlanta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, he might-
he could go there, and he doesn't have to worry about all the fun, fancy funky MLS rules. There's not quite as much
Right.
worries about cheating, I guess, over there because
It's pretty open.
Yeah.
They've got deep pockets as well, so he doesn't have to worry about all the rules that Major League Soccer has, and he doesn't have to worry about people thinking that he's cheating. He's just going to go do his job, and with all the mumbo jumbo that we have to deal with.
Exactly. So, One World, One Goal says, and we're going to wrap this up in just a minute. Tubby does well with stadium ops, sponsors, setting up the vendors, cars, appointments, all those logistics, just not players. I don't know if he does well with all that stuff. We were lacking in sponsors, so he didn't do vendors and stuff. That was fine.
But he was
fine.
covering for somebody else. He had too many hats on, I think.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting spammed here all of a sudden.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're getting spammed.
So we'll.
How did that get through?
Yeah, if you can. On this, I can't kick him out, but we'll just wrap it up. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Esteban
Don't click on that, guys. Don't click on that.
Esteban saying the Russian bot's attacking. Yeah, it's I can't do it in this application. Unfortunately, the application that I'm using, I don't
doesn't let you kick them out.
No, I can add people to the broadcast. I'd have to log into the actual YouTube account and do it.
Well, I guess on that note, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will be having our show tomorrow, Geek Show, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Don't miss it. We're going to be talking. What did we say we were going to talk about? Oh, Star Trek. We'll talk a little bit of Star Trek, and I'll figure out some other geeky stuff that we can talk about. So don't miss it tomorrow. We'll need your help because, as always, we're unorganized. So, Peter, on that note.
Everybody, make sure you go to Caneswear, do all your Inter Miami shopping, gear up so that you can look your finest on Tuesday's game against Barcelona. So that's going to be a lot of fun. See everybody out there. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Everybody, thanks so much for the very active chat tonight. You guys were a lot of fun. See you next week, guys.